Before we do start this video, I do want to speak about our sponsor for today, and that is going to be the OneFootball app. If you want to find out what is currently going on in the World Cup when it comes to Argentina, for example, Brazil, Germany, Spain, France, any of those national teams, you can find all of that information, all of the formations, the tactics, and everything regarding that specific game or that team that you do want to follow. It is going to be found in the OneFootball app. If you do want to download the OneFootball app, you can. So there is going to be a link down below that'll take you straight to the App Store. You download the OneFootball app, you said exactly who and what you do want to follow, and then you'll be set and done from there. It's a very easy process. You will be notified immediately and live on your phone, and it is for free. And I hope you guys do enjoy it. And even without the World Cup going on, let's say for example the World Cup is over and you still have the OneFootball app, you can still follow your favorite clubs. So maybe it could be FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool, or whatever football club you do want to follow. Again, the OneFootball app will be there to cover for you 100% of the time. You guys will not be disappointed. So this game between Spain and Germany, it did end 1-1, and let me tell you guys, like in the beginning of this match, I thought that Spain were going to be the much more superior ones compared to Germany. But as the game continued to go by, I'm like, okay, Spain is dominating, but is Germany going to be reacting? Are they going to try and take the ball away? What are they going to do? What is the response? And the response was that Germany were going to be the ones taking the ball away in the last 20 minutes and creating opportunities for themselves. That is what we did see. We saw Spain become very dominant in the first 45 minutes, but as the second half came by, Germany were the ones that said, okay, we need to do something. We need to get some sort of results. And in the end, when many of us were thinking that Spain were going to be the superior ones, it was a very even match. We even look at the stats here, we can see that Germany actually ended up with the most total shots, shots on target, shots off target, block shots. We can even see like the amount of offsides Germany had. They had a total of 5, while Spain had a total of 2. So it was a very even match, but I felt like Germany took more advantage of that second half by taking more opportunities and finding that goal. Because if Germany were to lose in this game, which they were very close on doing so, Germany would be in big trouble. But because of this goal, because of what they have done, they have changed the scenario, their own situation within the group stages. It's still a very, I would say, a 80% chance that Germany would be out in the group stages. But if they can do what they need to do best, which is to beat Costa Rica, which I think that Germany will do, the only thing they have to basically wait on would be for Spain to win against Japan, which is going to be a game that I think is going to be very good. Spain are going to want to win. Spain could win most likely. I would give it probably a 75% chance that they win, and then Germany just have to do their part. The only reason why there is some slight doubt right now on why I think that Germany may get out of the group stages and get eliminated would be because, you look at how Germany performed against Japan. It was not the most awesome performance. Like, we thought that Germany were going to come in full firing, but there is some weaknesses in this German team, and who knows what this match is how this match is going to happen between Costa Rica and Germany. I have no idea. Like, everything is very 50-50. Ever since this World Cup started, I thought that things were going to go in a certain way, but everything has gone in a full 360. You see how Argentina lost in their first game, Germany lost in their first game, and so much more disappointments. England were expected to win against USA, but England ended up tying against USA 0-0. So again, a lot of unexpected moments in this World Cup. I just do not know. I don't know what to tell you when it comes to the last few matches within this group, but it is going to be a movie, I would say, because of course Germany and Spain are going to go toe to toe. They're like rivals in Europe, and let's wait and see. Let's see what Germany does against Costa Rica. They're going to have to depend on Spain to win, and I think that Spain are going to really want to win, because they're not going to go into this game and say, we're just going to half try. We're already 100% through. It does not matter. I think that Spain are going to want to really win this game, because if they do lose, or they end up tying, they could potentially go into second place, potentially, right? Maybe go into second place, and Spain do not want to do that. They do not want to face a very hardcore team very early within the next round, in the round of 16. So Germany did take a much more defensive decision compared to the previous lineups that we did see. We saw Gundogan act as a central attacking midfielder with Gnabry and Musiala on the wings, and then having Goretzka be right next to Kimmich in that double pivot position within a 4-2-3-1 system. So it was a much more defensive approach, which I understand because the coach Hansi Flick, he knows that Luis Enrique's team is very attack focused. They know how to attack very well, with Jordi Alba always running up and down the flanks, having Dani Olmo very clinical. You can have Asensio was also very clinical. Ferran Torres. They have a lot of goal scorers in this squad, which is why I understand that Germany took much more of a defensive approach. Even with Germany taking a much more defensive approach, they still attack very well. Like Gundogan did what he had to do. This is not his normal position. We know that he takes much deeper roles, but he did what he had to do, which is to create attacking opportunities, really get the ball and take it away from Spain and give it to Musiala for Musiala to create something in that final third. And then we do have Spain playing in a 4-3-3 with Carvajal. We have Rodri acting again as a center back. Keep in mind that Rodri is a central defensive midfielder, so it's a very interesting choice. Luis Enrique still did not opt for Eric Garcia to start in that defensive line. And then we had Laporte and Jordi Alba. In total, we had 5 Barcelona players in this starting 11. We have Ferran Torres, Busquets, Gavi, Pedri, and Jordi Alba. A total of 5 Barcelona players. The main core of this 11 still remains to be Barcelona players, which is a huge plus for Xavi's FC Barcelona. We're doing something right. And again, it was such a joy to watch because the battle was in the midfield. And you and me, like, we all came into this game knowing that the battle was going to be in the midfield. Pedri and Gavi trying to control the match while having Musiala in the middle of the pitch. Gundogan trying to take away the ball from Busquets or Pedri and Gavi. Then we had Gnabry coming into the mix. So it was a very even match. You can even see that Musiala was really trying to make his case that he is one of the best players or best young players in the world. Within this game, he had a total of 6 chances created, which is the most that Germany had to produce in this game. Musiala was the one that was basically the creator for Germany. And then another stat coming from Musiala is that he completed the most dribbles for Germany, which was a total of 4, and 4 very decisive dribbles. These are the type of stats that for this game specifically, Pedri and Gavi could not compete with. In the previous game for Spain, Pedri and Gavi were very superior. They were the ones that made what Spain was on that game in the previous match. But in this game specifically, Musiala was really trying to one up Pedri and Gavi because he knew the type of battle that he was getting himself into. Now, this does not mean that Pedri and Gavi played bad. It's just that Musiala had the better game, and I like that. I like to see that Pedri and Gavi and Musiala and all of these other youngsters are really trying to compete against one another. And here's another very interesting thing, right? As I was noticing, this battle that was going on between Spain and Germany, we in the past 2 years, we're talking about how, the future and for the next 10 years after Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi, the next rivalry is going to be Erling Haaland versus Kylian Mbappe. We have always talked about that type of thing is Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland because they score a lot of goals, and especially when we heard that Erling Haaland saw Kylian Mbappe's performance and that basically motivated him to score more goals. We saw conversations like that. We're like, wow, this is going to be the next rivalry for the world of football. It's going to be amazing. Haaland's going to be scoring 2 goals or 3 goals in one game, and then Kylian Mbappe is going to be providing 2 goals and 1 assist. It's going to be awesome, right? But I don't like, can you and me agree on this? But I feel like maybe there's a big possibility that maybe the next big rivalry may not even be Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. I honestly feel that way. I feel like the next rivalry could be Pedri and Musiala because of just how good they are at their age, right? Pedri is 20 years old. Musiala is 19. Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland are past 21 years old. They're in the early 20s, while we have Pedri and Musiala barely even touching 20 yet. And I look at their capacity, I look at what they could win for both their club and both their country. They can win so much. Pedri has the possibility to win the World Cup one day compared to someone like Erling Haaland. We have Musiala, right, who is more than capable to win the World Cup if you were to compare him to also Erling Haaland. Kylian Mbappe already won a World Cup, which is why he's in that conversation of being one of the best players in the world and getting into the debate of this rivalry that could go on. So I don't really see a rivalry going on between Pedri versus Kylian Mbappe or Musiala versus Kylian Mbappe. These Like if you were to compare Pedri and Musiala to Kylian Mbappe, they both do very different things compared to Kylian Mbappe. They do very different things. When we talk about Pedri versus Musiala, though, we're talking about a debate where, okay, who can control the match the best? Who can create the most opportunities the best? Which is why this rivalry is very, very interesting, because they both take the responsibility of trying to create the game, trying to create the opportunities. We don't really see that with Erling Haaland or Kylian Mbappe. They're the ones that want to be fed those chances, those opportunities. Pedri and Musiala like to create those opportunities. They like to feed their players, and that's very interesting. And they both have the capability to also score a lot of goals and also provide a lot of assists. So it is something really interesting to think about. I think that Musiala is going to go very far with the German national team, and especially under Hansi Flick. They're going to win trophies and many other championships, and the same thing with Pedri with the Spanish national team. They're going to go very, very far, and eventually we are going to be having this conversation again. I know it sounds kind of dumb for me to say, to compare this rivalry to Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland, but I can see this from a mile away, and I can smell it. I can really see these two players becoming one of the best players in the world, and within the conversation of being in the top 5, and maybe even potentially one day win the Ballon d'Oro. So very interesting. Again, this was a very even match between Germany and Spain. Everything is up in the air right now when it comes to the group stages. This is not the only one where, like, this is not the only group stage that I would say is very 50-50 right now for all the teams. Like, another one is the Group C, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Poland. Another one is Group B, England, Iran, USA. A lot of this has to do with the best teams really under delivering in the first game, which is why we see Germany still having that chance even though they lost against Japan, why we still see even someone like Mexico having the chance even though they lost against Argentina, or USA having that chance even though they have tied against Wales. But in the end, I do expect Spain and Germany to lock in their spots to advance to the next round very, very soon. I'm very confident that these two teams can go to the next round and go into the round of 16 compared to like the other teams. I don't know if USA is going to make it. I don't know if Mexico is going to make it. I don't know if other teams are going to make it. But with Spain and Germany, I feel like they will get the job done. They will both get their wins and go on to the round of 16. I'm very happy, right, with the way that Jordi Alba has also played by providing an assist for this goal that Morata did score. He is in a very amazing form. I feel like the reason why Jordi Alba is playing much more intense, much more direct, much more like if it was his prime self back in 2016 and 15 and 2017 is because Jordi Alba was rested in the first 2 or 3 months under Xavi Hernandez. Jordi Alba was barely used, and I think that he has saved his energy, and now he is putting all of that energy into the World Cup, right? So I'm happy to see that Jordi Alba is like this. I cannot wait for him to come back and perform for FC Barcelona and really compete for that spot with Alejandro Balde. It's going to be very, very, again, very interesting to see who ends up being in that starting 11 by the time we do end in February, which is going to be a very important month for FC Barcelona when it comes to the Europa League, not the Champions League, La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and so much more. Again, Gavi, Busquets, Pedri continue to be very, very solid. All of their passes always connect. You look at Busquets, he is also in his best form. It does say here, like, one of his best stats is that Sergio Busquets was the most accurate passer that played 45 minutes or more with a total of 93%. So Busquets is not dropping down his level at all. And we should expect him to continue to start for FC Barcelona under Xavi Hernandez. When we do come back from this World Cup, Busquets, Pedri, and Gavi is our ideal midfield. If Luis Enrique can get the best out of these three players and dominate Germany in this way for a full 90 minutes, we should be able to do this at FC Barcelona under Xavi. Like, Xavi should be taking notes. And the same thing goes for Ferran Torres. Ferran Torres has been phenomenal for Spain. His movement is amazing. I remember early in the game, and I'm talking about this match between Germany and Spain. I remember early in the game, Ferran Torres was running into the box. He was about to receive a ball from, I think, Jordi Alba. I don't really remember, but it was like in the first 15 minutes, Ferran Torres was making that run into the box. He was acting like he was going to make a straight run, but then he shifted his body to the left, and then he lost one of the center backs of Germany. I think one of those center backs of Germany was like Sul. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Sul or Sule. But basically, he lost Sul so bad. Like, it was so embarrassing for that center back. By the way Ferran Torres did move and shift his position. His off the ball movement is something that I know that many are ignoring and they don't really see. But it's and then I was just like so disappointed because Ferran Torres even like missed that shot so easy. basically rocketed that ball into the one of the fans and it went to the stands or something like that. But yeah, Ferran Torres, again, he was amazing. His off the ball movement was amazing. Jordi Alba, great. Busquets, Gavi, Pedri, solid. So I'm happy. Let's see what Spain does against who did they play against? Yes, against Japan on December 1st, which will be on Thursday in about 4 or 5 days, and we move. Let's see how Spain do. That will be wrapping up today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.